Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video I will review my gaming PC from 2008. I will show you its hardware specification and its performance in games. At this point in time the system is more than 10 years old, so it is obsolete compared to modern systems. Nevertheless, it is still a fully functional PC. Inside the case is a 350 watt power supply unit, a 80 gigabyte hard drive from Western Digital for storage, and a 240 gigabyte SSD from Kingston for Windows. I installed Windows 7 Ultimate 32-bit version. To check the CPU and motherboard, I'm using a program called CPU-Z. As you can see, the CPU is a Intel Core 2 Duo e4600 processor with 2.4 GHz clock. The motherboard is made by a company called Abit. The system has 2 GB of DDR2 RAM. To check the graphics card, I'm using a program called GPU-Z. As you can see, it is a Ati Radeon HD 3600 card. It has 512 megabytes of GDDR3 VRAM and a 128-bit bus. I decided to overclock the GPU, but for whatever reason the voltage controls in MSI Afterburner did not work. Luckily the frequency controls did work, so I just pulled the sliders to max. Now the core clock is 800 MHz and memory clock is 900 MHz. To reduce the extra heat from the card, I swapped the stock heatsink from a NVIDIA Asus 8600 GT card, such as this one. It was meant to be passively cooled, but for extra cooling I added a fan with a zip tie. To quickly check if the system is stable, I used 4Mark's GPU benchmark. In the end it scored 206 points and a whopping 3 FPS. Now it is ready for some games. All the games were played at 1080p resolution. First of all, can it run Crysis? Yes, it can. Setting everything to low, the game was playable, but the frame rate was somewhere between 15 and 30 FPS, so the experience was not great but not terrible. Next is GTA 4. Setting everything to low, it was still terrible. It felt like having a seizure. The frame rate was somewhere between 7 and 15 FPS, and it dropped significantly when a lot was going on. GTA 3, on the other hand, was a great experience. Setting everything to high, it ran smooth between 50 and 60 FPS. It was a enjoyable experience. Portal frame rate was not stable. It jumped like crazy, somewhere between 30 and 100 FPS, depending on what was going on. Overall, it was acceptable. And lastly, Skyrim. Everything set to low. It seemed fine until I noticed the shadows were flickering. So strange. Outside the frame rate was about 30 FPS, but going indoors the frame rate dropped to 20 FPS. Also the flickering was more intense. I had a problem filming with my camera. It did not focus while filming computer parts, so I made images instead. This video took me more time than I would like to admit, but I hope you did enjoy it. If you have any suggestions, please leave a comment. If you like this video, please leave a thumbs up. If you want to see similar videos in the future, please subscribe. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.